Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to start this off by saying that this is like the third time I've attempted to film this video. I'm attempting right now again in less than ideal conditions. I've got my fiance screaming in the background as he plays video games. I haven't been feeling that well, but I really want to film this Mercury retrograde video. And every single time I've tried to start, I try to do Mercury retrograde for the signs, fire sign, water sign, blah, 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 what you have in store for you. And every single time I did that, I hated the message. I felt like it was all over the place. I felt like things weren't coming through. So I'm going to try something a little different. I am going to try a collective message to see if this is the answer, if this is what Spirit wanted me to do. So let's see. I suppose you'll know if you hear this rant on the YouTube channel, because that means that yes, it was a success. I am using today the Good Tarot. I think this is the first time I've done a reading with it, at least on camera. And I apologize if my voice is loud. I'll obviously do my best to edit it out, later. I do have headphones in, binaural beats going on, trying to help me, stay in the zone. So let's just go ahead and get started. Mercury retrograde has already started. It started on the 13th and it's going to go all the way through November 3rd. Wonderful election day. So this is going to be a really intense time for a lot of people, and communication is kind of key. So I figured I'd do a reading to see how we can best communicate with one another. In addition to, whatever other messages come through. But let's just see, as a collective, how we can all better communicate with one another, better understand one another, what we can do to sort of work together, if you will. If this deck would work with me. It's a lot larger than I'm used to as far as tarot is concerned. So it's taking me a little bit longer to get what I want. Spirit, what do we need to know about this Mercury retrograde? What's coming for us? How can we best communicate? How can we best support each other in this difficult time? I'm taking. We have the Eight of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and Death, Transformation. I do like in this deck the way that Colette Baron Reed has kind of renamed some of the major arcana, and of course, the suits. This is obviously given what this major arcana, what this Mercury retrograde, speaking of when it ends, this is going to be massively transformative for anyone who lives in the United States and possibly beyond. Change is coming towards us very quickly. Eight of Fire. That date will be here before we know it. Mercury retrograde is a weird transit. I feel like it's always here, but it's always coming. Like it's always in a constant state of flux. People I think don't realize how often Mercury, goes in and out of retrograde. But this one, there's going to be a lot of change in this Mercury retrograde on a personal and depending on where you live, countrywide level, global level. We also here have the Nine of Swords. This is stress. This is nightmares, anxiety, sleeplessness, depression, grief. This is, that has been honestly the past year in a nutshell. And this time isn't really making it any better. So there is a lot going on for us right now. And I know I'm losing sleep over it. I know a lot of people that I know personally and love, they are losing sleep over it. This is a very stressful time. We'll take the election out of it. This has been an unprecedented year. And I kind of feel, at least for me and at least the people I know, as the end of the year approaches, the anxiety is sort of creeping higher, like there's going to be something that happens. There's got to be something that's happening. This can't be. What if this isn't over? What if this is not the worst of what's to come? What else can happen? Oh gosh, you know. Okay. And on the back we have. All right, interesting. Okay, so as far as Mercury retrograde goes, let's get into this full spread. So we do have the Eight of Wands clarified by the Five of Cups. So this is definitely. I feel that this change is moving swiftly, but also I feel that there's a huge sense of loss and grief over this pretty much entire year. But especially now, going towards the holidays, I feel like, you know, the second October starts, that last end of the year is just a rush of everyone's favorite or least favorite time. But this type of year can really bring out that grief, that loss, the regret. It can, you know, if you are having tension with your family or your loved ones, it really can be a difficult time because, you know, everyone's talking about being with your loved ones and going home and doing this. And if things aren't well between you and your family, that can be very stressful. But I feel that everyone's sense of loss is increasing as we get close towards the end of the year. Like I said, with this Eight of Wands, I feel like everyone's expecting more, expecting worse things to come at them fast. What else can happen? What is going to happen? Waiting for that shoe to drop, you know? And then with the Nine of Swords, sorry, I always have to take a pause and make sure that I'm saying the right suit when it's named something else. Clarified by the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is usually a work card about, like, you know, collaborating with a team, work, some sort of like skill or craftsmanship, things like that. I feel that this is also everyone's work anxieties times 1,000. This has been a really stressful year for everyone. Job insecurity is like, I don't know, well, I don't want to say an all-time high, but job insecurity is a topic like it hasn't been in a very long time. Everyone is feeling worried that they can be replaced, that within their workplace, within their community, within their coworkers, whatever it is, whatever you do, that they feel the need to carve out their space, to make themselves known, to be the valuable asset, to be the one that gets kept, you know. And that is stressful, especially for people who are, you know, the main source of income for their families, or who worry, you know, that your job is not able to be done remotely. I know that, you know, my job, I work in a library. It's little, you know, we can only do so much remote, and everyone was definitely worried about, you know, being furloughed and things like that. And, you know, knock on wood, that didn't happen for us, but I know that many were not so lucky. So keep this in mind, keep that in mind as you do work with your coworkers, as you work with your partners, as you work with whoever it is that you work with, that you collaborate with. Keep in mind that everyone's feeling the stress. Everyone is feeling the stress of the end of the year review. They're feeling the stress of, am I going to get that raise? They're feeling the stress of anything and everything that you can think of, compounded by the fact that this is an unprecedented time in so many different ways. And then here, I feel like we have death here, transformation, clarified by the Emperor. Now, for those of you who do live in America, I am getting very big presidential election vibes. That is obviously one of the major things on everyone's mind, regardless of your preferred candidate or anything like that. That is something that is on everyone's mind, and I do feel that this massive transformation that we have coming towards us is absolutely our emperor, you know, the leader of our country. It's going to, I feel, affect a lot of families, leaders and their families, how, you know, it's going to affect how they're able to support their families, or, you know, it's going to cause a schism between families depending on who voted for who and the outcome and all of that wonderfully stress-free things. However, on the back of the deck, we do have hope. We have the Ten of Pentacles. So regardless of how Mercury retrograde ends, or, you know, begins, we do have the Ten of Pentacles. we have our legacy. We still have our legacy. We still have material contentment. We still have, because to me the Ten of Pentacles is, yes, it's about, you know, inheritance, retirement, legacy, money, you know, sometimes generational, you know, raising generations like children, mother, grandparents, that kind of dynamic, I guess is a better way to say it. But this is also like domestic partnership, domestic bliss, happiness at home, physically home, a happy home. So I do feel that at the base of it all, there is going to be a place to return to. And see, right underneath it is the world. So I do feel that we just need to remember, we need to keep an eye on our home, whatever home is to you, that physical place, that person, that, you know, whatever it is, your bed, you know, whatever home means to you. Remember that, keep that in mind. Allow that to be the sort of light in this incredibly stressful time. Like, let's not beat around the bush. This is a rough time, and it's gonna end in an explosive way. Let's get a little more clarification. What else can we expect going forward? What should the collective be aware of as we move through this Mars retrograde? As we move through a time that can be shade communication. What should we be aware of? This one. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. Well, I certainly hope so. I mean, I guess the one thing to say is that, you know, the world was underneath. So I'm gonna do this so that we have that, and I'm gonna get rid of this because I'm just gonna keep pulling cards, and then we're gonna have 78 cards on the table. Maybe one day. At the end of a tough cycle does approach. Regardless of what happens, 2020 is gonna end. Regardless of what happens, all of these negative things, they are temporary. They will be temporary. They will end. You know, when is sort of up in the air, especially for, you know, coronavirus treatment, electoral status, jobs. Regardless, this tough cycle is going to end. 2020 is going to end. And even if we just need that symbolism, we just need that to end, like you just need the closure, you know, that's okay. That is okay. Take your win, take whatever, you know, take your closure, take how you get it. It's okay. There's no shame in looking forward to the end of something at all. Not at all. We have nothing is set in stone. Okay. That is also honestly comforting. Nothing is set in stone. Don't ever for a moment think that this is the end, this is it, this is tragedy, we're done for, you know, for whatever reason. So I'm gonna take a drink. For whatever reason. Don't have that mindset. We don't need to feel that way. That's not true. Nothing is set in stone. Everything is mutable, especially for you mutable signs, you know. But the tough cycle is approaching, and there are lots of different ways that it can end. Nothing is set in stone. We can change things. Let's get Wisdom of the Oracle. What do we need to know about this Mercury retrograde? How can we best communicate with one another? Support each other? What do we need to let go? What do we need to hold close? Blessed. You know, it's interesting that these two cards look so similar. Sometimes not to get too philosophical, sometimes loss and grief and those icky emotions, let's just be honest, can end in a blessing. I'll never say they are a blessing. It sucks to feel that way. It hurts to feel that way. It's not a fun or pleasant place to be. But in the end, I do feel that it teaches us a lesson, and that is a blessing. It teaches us, you know, what's important. It teaches us what touches our heart. It teaches us what we should focus on, what things we're frightened to lose, what do we love, what do we need to hold close. And in that way, it is a blessing. Building blocks, yes. Just, this is, I feel building blocks I'm getting one step at a time. One step at a time. This is something that we have to tackle one step at a time. It can be, you know, tempting to charge in there, this Eight of Wands energy. It can be tempting to get in there, get it finished, you know, shake things up, because we've all felt so anxious and scared for so long. However, we don't want to have a tower moment. We don't want to build a shitty foundation. Let's be honest. We want to have a solid foundation. We want to have a fireproof foundation. We want to have the best foundation that we can have, so that we don't have to rebuild again and again and again. Okay. Let's see. What else can we get? Let's do some goddesses. What energy do we need to embrace right now? How can we best love one another and support one another in this time? Ascension. Okay. Yes. Difficult times. I'm sure you've heard lots of people on TarotTube and spiritual YouTube and all that kind of stuff talk about ascension, talk about New Earth, all that kind of stuff. We are definitely, you know, there is a bleakage out occurring. Oops, here's another one. And gratitude. Okay. Ooh, what's going on with this card? Very strange. So we have ascension and we have gratitude. I am going to read out of the book because I am unfamiliar with these wonderful ladies and I don't want to misrepresent them specifically. So pardon me. Just as a goddess of the sea, just as the goddess of the sea, Mezu guides sailors home from rocky oceans, she's guiding you to rise above the chaos in your life and situation to find your way back to your true self. Like I said, things have been very chaotic, very stressful. Let this be a light to help guide you home. Like I said, the Ten of Pentacles. Find your lighthouse, find your North Star, whatever it is, Mezu. Let them lead you back to that Ten of Pentacles, that home feeling in your heart, whatever that is, whatever lights you up inside like that. Find your way back to it. Okay, and then Flower Goddess Xochiquetzal, I apologize, is guiding you to embrace all of the good things in your life and honor them with gratitude. Now is the time to acknowledge your many blessings. Absolutely. Despite having the year from hell, I think this has all shown us what we do have to be appreciative of, what our blessings truly are, how we should show gratitude towards those things that we took for granted prior. I know I have experienced that myself, and I have attempted to rectify my ungrateful behavior, I guess I should say. It's not that I was being ungrateful, it's just I wasn't living with as much gratitude as I could have. So in this time, it might be a good idea, maybe do some gratitude journaling, do a couple of things. I know when I was, you can, what's that? I don't know the name of it for sure, but some people will do like a little jar where they'll write something that they're grateful for and they'll put it in their little jar and they'll do it every day, once a day. And then when they're feeling down or when they feel upset, they'll go through that little jar and, not all of them, just some, and see I truly do have blessings. I am blessed. I do have good fortune in my life. I do have things to look forward to. Just sometimes we can forget because the ascension process can be difficult, and once you found your way home, sometimes it's a little difficult to focus beyond. Let's get some spirit animal guidance, some animal totem guidance. What should the collective know about this Mercury retrograde? How can we channel the energy out of this Mercury retrograde to the best possible outcome for the highest good? Dream the world into being. Yes. This has shown us what we need. This has shown us the flaws in the system. This has shown us how things could be better. And now is the time to dream the world into being. Use that power to make a new dream. We can make a new dream. This one also wants to come. Wasp spirit, but in reverse. Sometimes life stings, which is true. Sometimes life does sting. But this, to me, being in the, I think this book refers to this as the protection message versus the guidance message. This is, to me, life's about to stop stinging. But also, don't let this difficult time we've been going through have you sting others. Don't let this give you bite. Don't let this make you hard. Don't let this make you bitter. Sort of be careful. It can be difficult, especially, Mercury retrograde, purpose of this reading. It can be easy to have bite in our words, to sting someone's feelings, to hurt someone's feelings as we communicate or don't communicate. Perfect. Trust in magic. Okay. So it can be easy to do that, or it could just be like a reaction, a gut reaction. But take a deep breath. Take a step back and trust in the magic. Don't fall into the everything is terrible, everyone means the bad thing, everyone life sucks and then you die, that kind of mentality. Trust in the magic. Trust in the journey. Trust that there was a greater purpose for all of this suffering and the ascension process. And that there's still magic ahead of us. We still have plenty of magic in front of us. This card, the Eight of Swords, gives me the little orbs that you see, the lanterns. The lanterns, I believe that they are. Yeah, but they look like, to me, they look like little magic orbs, and it just makes me think and remember, life is filled with magic, little magic. Even like I said, the little things that your gratitude. Find your little magic and let that help you have enough hope in your heart that you can embrace the big magic that's still coming. Let's look at love. Let's see. Love. Now this could be not just romantic messages. It is a romance oracle, but I use it as just love in general for the most part. Spirit, what is this Mercury retrograde going to bring us? Trust, finances, and career. Okay. What else do you have to tell us, Spirit, about love in this time? Oops. Give your relationship a chance. Let's get one more. Spirit. What else do we need? Keep an eye on. Oops. Wedding. Okay. So this is a situation calling for you to have faith, for you to trust, like I said. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Trust that there's still magic out there. Trust that there's still good at the end. Trust that there's still good in people, that we can still change, that the change that is coming is going to be good, that it's not going to sting. Trust that people have, good intentions, not that they're being catty. Because it looks like with this, especially we were talking about job security earlier, finances and career are definitely affecting a lot of relationships right now. Friends, romance, parents, daughter, like children and their parents. Finances and career are affecting a lot of relationships right now for those of us that are not fortunate enough to, be independently wealthy or have some sort of sustainable life. This is also a time of year, not just Mercury retrograde, but going through the end of the year, where finances and career kind of just cause a lot of struggle in general, because there's a lot of holidays coming up. People start to stress about putting presents and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And it definitely takes a toll on your relationship. So especially around finances and career, be mindful of how we speak to one another. Be mindful of how you might be perceived. Because perception is reality, So just be mindful, especially in regards to this particular matter in our finances or career. For some of you, it's making things very, a lot of struggle, because we have give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. This to me can be, it can be romantic, especially I do feel that because of this wedding situation, this could be people who are married or about to get married, work on your partnership. Things have been very difficult this year, especially for those of you who are planning a wedding, myself, things might have been very stressful in this time. You might have been stressed because you may have missed, anniversaries, or, some of us have, been working from home, and, those who are fortunate, blessed enough to be able to work from home. Some of us may have been working from home around our significant others. And I don't just mean in proximity, I mean trying to find where your place is, where their place is, how to handle, like, well, I have to take a phone call, well, I have a screen, I have an interview, I have a whatever. It's been difficult, it's been hard, and I know a lot of people are sort of sick of seeing each other, but just know that this has been a difficult year. The circumstances have been extenuating for everyone, and it's time to kind of work on maybe what needs to be mended at this time. Don't let this sort of cosmic transit kind of push you away when you need to pull closer. All right. Before I do that, let's do mermaids. Oh, good. I guess I won't be using those. Just drop my Guardian Angel Tarot all over the floor. Okay. What do you have to say to us, mermaids? What can we know about this Mercury retrograde energy? What should we be aware of? Ooh, that, apparently. Innocence. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of kids. I keep feeling, don't, think of all the children who've had to grow up during this time, and how they've been able to keep their childlike wonder, to see the excitement in the little things, be excited with little bits of progress. How oftentimes children it's so easy for them to embrace change because they're so malleable still, whereas a lot of us are, quite resistant to it or upset by it. Sort of maybe channel a little of that youthful innocence. And then we have ask for help and support. So I definitely feel like during this time, it is definitely going to be important to speak up, to lean on your support system. When you need help, you need to ask for help. Don't just do that thing that we all do where you don't tell them that I'm struggling, I need help doing X, Y, or Z, because they should just know. We've all fallen into that trap. It is not a good place. No, let's not do that. Ask for help. Do not assume that someone knows you're struggling and they're, for whatever reason, just choosing not to help you. Let's not do that. Let's lean on our support systems in this time. Ask for help when we need it. Whatever that is in regards to. Ask your partner for help. Ask your coworkers for help. And trust that this isn't going to be used against you. Asking for help, there's always shitty people, let's be honest, that are going to use people's weaknesses or perceived weaknesses. But this is not a weakness, and those are not people whose opinions you should care about, okay? I'm a little upset there. I'm sorry about that. I got a little heated. Okay, oh my God. Let's see. More hearth, happiness in our hearts and homes. Again, yes, 10 of Pentacles, ascension, all of that. Find your hearth, your home, your happiness, your 10 of Pentacles, your happy place. Whatever that is, let that be your light. Let that be your motivation, your hearth, okay? We also have trick or treat, mischief, and play. Again, this goes with the innocence. I think this is reminding us, you know, this is a very serious time. We've had a very serious year. Maybe it's time to have a little bit of innocent fun. Maybe it's time to be silly. Watch a silly movie, partake in a silly hobby. You know, just indulge. Be, you know, joke around with your loved one in this time. But embrace some of that, the magic in the life still. We don't, you know, not everything has to be... There doesn't have to be a purpose for everything. That to me is what one of the biggest things about magic is. Magic is just because. Magic is unexplainable. Magic is magic. So find some of that magic and enjoy it. And then finally we do have vampire for emotional intelligence. Use that emotional intelligence during this time. You know, our words get all twisted around Mercury retrograde, so use your emotional intelligence and recognize if perhaps you need to take a step away, take a breath, take a breather, communicate again later, try again later. You know, try to use your emotional intelligence and know, you know, especially like if you're a big texter, if you are a text fighter, it's difficult to convey emotions via text. Don't hit people with the K just because you're upset. You know what I mean? We don't need to sort of exacerbate an argument because we maybe misunderstood someone. I feel like that was a very specific message because in my head I just heard K. So just use your emotional intelligence and give someone the benefit of the doubt. And if, you know, if your original gut instinct was correct and they were being a jerk, then hit them with that. But don't just go right off with that and assume that someone's being negative. Okay. So I do want to clarify with a couple more tarot. I have never really found an angel deck that I have enjoyed until this one. 2 of Cups, beautiful. So I feel that this is definitely going to bring a lot of couples closer. This is one of those with the 5 of Cups we had earlier. This is showing people what matters, and a lot of people are just getting close. Relationships and small things are kind of becoming important in a way that they maybe haven't been in the past. And then we have the Sun. Wonderful. This is like, what a great note to end on. We have the Sun. This is just happiness, joy, success. This is, you know, good things, all good things. Innocence, again, just I feel that as far as love connections go, a lot of you are going to be okay. You're going to come out on top. For those of you who don't, I'm sorry that you're going to go through a difficult time. But just know that good things are coming. Good things are coming. Bad, you know, the end of a cycle approaches. Everything bad will end. Everything has to end. That's it. That's, you know, it must. That's how it goes. And sometimes it's sad to see things end, but it does make room for things that can bring us our innocence and joy and mischief and play and the sun and that victory and the success and just, you know, sometimes Spirit has to clear the way for your blessings, but that doesn't mean it's not painful, you know? You know, where's my charms? Oof. If you could see the situation that I've got going on, it is cringy. What do we have? Tell us. Bloop. Okay, we have our another horse. This is my quick change, so put that over here on our Ace of Wands. Change is fast approaching. We also have believe in the magic over here. Trust in the magic. That's my Santas, my believe in the magic. Gifts. Someone's got some gifts coming their way, some unexpected surprises. We also have the drum. I believe over here we have sing to your song or something like that. Did I make that up? I may have made that up. That's fine. But we have walk to your own beat. Definitely. We have the ball. Ball is in your court. I feel like this is going for give your relationship a chance, folks. The ball is in your court. So this is your decision. This is sort of it's your move whether or not how you want to proceed with this. We also have wisdom, intuition. Again, this is also like my remembrance, because elephants remember. You know, an elephant never forgets. So perhaps you're going to be around old friends or family members, you know, that Six of Cups energy. We have our hope ring. This makes me think of the star. This is telling us, you know, there's hope. There is hope for the future. And then we have our 9 lives charm. This to me is about new beginnings. You don't get a limited number of starts. You don't get a limited number of chances to change your life, to do something different. You know, we get as many new starts, and a new start is coming. Regardless of what that start is, it is coming. So we can at least focus on the fact that something new is on the horizon. So we're going to try this out. This is my cauldron of channeled messages and quotes and astrological signs and some funny things. Let's see what comes out. I feel like we should pull another little, there we go. Let's see what we have. We have, don't be afraid of the dark, light worker. Don't be afraid of the dark. I feel like this goes with Meizu. There is a light. There's a light at the tunnel. Don't be afraid of the dark. Find your hearth. You know, oftentimes it would just illuminate what's in front of you, but don't be afraid of the dark. There's nothing in the dark that can hurt you. There is enough. Yes, there is enough. There is enough contentment. There is enough happiness. There is enough peace. There is enough starts. There is enough for everyone. You getting something does not prevent somebody else from getting it. And I'm not talking about job opportunities or things like that. I'm talking about, you know, like life fulfillment. There is enough. There's enough happiness to go around. There's enough compassion to go around. There is enough success to go around. There's enough. So don't worry. Get that scarcity mentality out of here. A small win is still a win. Again, trust in the magic, little things. A small win is still a win as far as gratitude goes. Just because it's little doesn't diminish its importance. It's still a win. This is a silly one. We stan. Yes. What do we have here? Sagittarius. I aim. Sagittarius energy here represented. We also have bend, don't break. Very good advice. I feel like this has been a situation where people have been bending to what they feel is their breaking point, but you know, you're gonna snap back, baby. And then finally we have I want, Scorpio. So we are aiming and wanting right now. And standing, apparently. Ugh. I feel like I don't even remember half of these that I put in, and I'm always horrified when I take them out. But that was our collective message. Overall, I feel hopeful. There were definitely some pointed reminders about how when Mercury Retrograde happens to end, but find your home, find the hearth, find that warmth, your hope, whatever just gives you that beautiful, glowy contentment inside. Find the magic in every day, the little magic. Find the innocence, be silly, play, be mischievous, and just know that this too shall pass, we shall say. And it looks like it is coming quickly. You know, this is the year of strange time vortexes, and March lasted 1,000 years, but I feel like October was a blink. And before we know it, it will be the end of retrograde and then the end of the year. So I hope that this resonated with those of you who watched it. And I hope that you maybe feel a little more hopeful than you did going into this. I am so appreciative of just being able to do this regardless of how many people I reach, and I'm just this has been my little source of magic for me. So I hope that everyone else finds their source of magic. Not to lessen the message by this, but you know, like this video if messages like this give you encouragement, and I'll do more collective readings, or tell me the kinds of things that you would like to see that would, you know, raise your spirits and things like that, because I'm here to I'm here for hope. You know, I like fun, I like predictions, I love tarot and all that kind of stuff, but I'm here for hope. I'm here to help, and I love to do that for as many or as few people as I can. So thank you all for watching. I hope that your Mercury retrograde, as well as every day and the rest of the year, is wonderful for you. I hope you have a good night or day or morning or wherever time it is when you watch this, and I love you. Bye.